Why is the city of Vernon Hills quickly becoming one of the biggest spots to move in northern Illinois? Well, today I'm going to show you because it's got shopping, it's got dining, and it's got entertainment, plus it's got a bit of a North Shore vibe. So let's go check it out. I sure love an area that has everything. And it's not just my own opinion because Vernon Hills Illinois has some top rankings online, including the #1 best places to live in Lake County, Illinois, as well as the #4 best place to live in Illinois altogether. So if you've been thinking about living in Lake County, don't hit snooze on Vernon Hills. You gotta go see more of it. My name is Megan Farmer and I'm your Northern Illinois Realtor, and I help people buy and sell homes all across Northern Illinois. Plus, I like to give you all the scoop on what's happening in Northern Illinois. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. That way you get notified anytime there's new videos out. As always, if you have any real estate related questions, please feel free to comment on the video or reach out to me directly. Location, location, location. Vernon Hills is almost perfectly located in the center of Lake County. It's about 37 miles northwest of Chicago, Illinois, and it's got a very dense population of around 26,000 people. And I say dense because Vernon Hills isn't overly big, and there's a lot of other suburbs in the area. When you're driving in Vernon Hills, you can be in Libertyville at one point, Mundelein, Long Grove, Lincolnshire, Lake Forest, and Mettawa. You know, you've got this area that you don't necessarily know which city you're in unless you're closer to the mall in Vernon Hills. Until, of course, you get used to the area, then you know. Overall, Vernon Hills is super accessible. It's close to I-94 and Route 60, which are big ways to travel east and west or north and south. And it even has a metro station. So if you need to commute into Chicago, it's easy to just go and hop on the train and head into the city from there if you don't want to drive. But you really can't let the size fool you because it is so jam-packed full of amenities with the shopping and the dining and the entertainment, plus top-notch schools and just a lifestyle to Vernon Hills. When you're looking for things to do in Vernon Hills, one of the biggest ones there is Hawthorne Mall. So Hawthorne is currently under a huge redevelopment. They're building more homes as well as restaurants right around it. And it is just getting bigger and bigger. Plus across the street, there's a shopping area and restaurants called Melody Farm, as well as some apartments for rent over there. And you can easily walk over, and it's just becoming this community of just fun and entertainment and things to do in such a small area relative to the city. And it's really just expanding so much. It's really just this modern mixed-use hub with trendy restaurants and shopping that's just all coming together. So if you're looking somewhere to live where you can just have a little bit of everything, shopping, getting your nails done, going out for a drink or a really nice meal or even just a really quick meal, you literally have a 5-minute walk to everything. And you have homes that you can buy, homes that you can rent, luxury homes that you can rent, and just all so close to each other, and really just makes it easy, and you just really don't even have to drive anywhere if you don't want to. It's just super accessible. Hawthorne Mall has a ton of fun. Not only are there places for kids to play in there, like funflatables, where the kids can go and jump around on some bounce houses indoors, especially if it's a rainy day. But you could also go to other areas. Of course, as always in malls, a ton of shopping. You'll have a lot of your typical mall stores that you can think of. Plus you've got your food court and just the free area for kids to play, and as well as somewhere to walk. You know, sometimes just the weather isn't great, so you want to go take a long walk. Well, the mall's a perfect place for that. And of course, as malls usually do, if you want to see Santa or the Easter Bunny, they usually have that as well, and it's real quick and easy, especially if you live right there. It's super easy to just go to an event just like that. And plus, you can literally live right next to the mall. There are some really nice luxury condos right there, luxury apartments. You've got the Milton Apartments, you got Atworth, which is by right next to Melody Farm. These places just offer that ability to live at a somewhat lower cost in terms of purchasing a home and paying the property taxes and everything on that right there. And also just gives you just that ability to have a little bit of everything real close. I know if I was younger, I would absolutely consider living in one of those spots just because you literally have everything. You can walk out your door, you can go to TJ Maxx or Nordstrom Rack or Whole Foods, and you've got just restaurants and just all sorts of stuff. A blow dry bar for your hair. And then of course you go across the street and there's the mall and just even really nice restaurants, including Perry's. That's newer, and they're currently building a Yard House right now. And that's almost done. And I don't know if you've had Yard House. It is a chain, but it's actually very tasty. They have an excellent Nashville hot chicken sandwich that was really good. And what's currently in development at Hawthorne Mall is just this common area, community area, and it's not done yet. I've got a little picture of it. And you can see just kind of where they're headed in the direction and just how it's going to be just this community area to go, and whether that's relax or just hang out with friends or whatever. In terms of housing, now Vernon Hills has a wide range of housing. You're going to have some homes that are a little bit older, going to be a little bit more affordable in your 300s and 400,000s. And then you're going to have luxury homes. We're talking over $1 million, possibly $2 million, depending on what and where you're building. But a huge area of really nice detached homes, plus some townhomes and condos, is Gregg's Landing. Gregg's Landing is huge, but what's something that I want to bring up if you are looking in Gregg's Landing, and you got to be very careful of, is if you have a realtor or you're working with someone and you're set up on a search specifically for homes in Gregg's Landing, the complication with Gregg's Landing is that it's actually a subdivision name in itself in our system. Plus there are subdivisions within Gregg's Landing. So sometimes when people list homes in these areas, they'll choose Gregg's Landing, or they'll choose this actual subdivision that the house is actually in, because those names are in there as well. So if you are searching for Gregg's Landing, you're only going to get those homes with Gregg's Landing as the name, and you might be missing out on all these other subdivisions. So if you are searching for homes around Gregg's Landing, you're actually better off not filtering by subdivision. Just leave it blank, because too many realtors do different things. And I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's really important, and you'll miss a lot of homes if you are looking in Gregg's Landing. But anyways, make sure you do that. But there are a ton of other areas too. Gregg's Landing is huge, by the way. I just wanted to expand on that because it is a quite large area of subdivisions. There's like 20 or more. If you're thinking about moving there, there's a close proximity to a golf course, but there are just different levels of homes. So you've definitely got the more luxury style detached single family homes, and some of these are custom built, and those are going to be anywhere from $900,000 up to $1.5 million or more. In those areas. Some of those subdivisions include Riviera Estates, Pebble Beach, Royal Birkdale, Sawgrass, Torrey Pines, and Broadmoor. Then you'll have some mid-range single-family homes. These can be anywhere from $600,000 to $900,000 approximately. Just going to depend on the home itself. But these can include subdivisions like Oakmont, Royal Troon, Cypress Point, Pine Valley, The Point, and more. And you can kind of find some entry-level homes as well in Gregg's Landing, like $500,000 to $600,000 in price, I'd say. You could find those in Inverness or Royal St. George. And then you can find some of the entry-level and mid-range townhomes, and those can be anywhere from $300,000 to around $450,000, give or take. So some of these townhome communities are Bay Tree, Bay Hill, Pinehurst, Saddlebrook, and Shadow Creek. So these are just kind of different areas in which you can choose to live within Gregg's Landing. So like I said, there's over 20 subdivisions in Gregg's Landing. So there's a lot to look at in a little area. There's a nice golf course, and really just a nice area to walk in. It's just beautiful. Right now it's kind of spring, everything's blooming, it's really pretty. It's super beautiful in the fall to walk through as well. So yeah, in terms of Vernon Hills, there are a lot of subdivisions. There's over 60, but Gregg's Landing has over 20 alone, which is why I wanted to expand on that right now, why it's so important that when you are searching for homes at Gregg's Landing, that you do not include the subdivision. When you're looking for those more affordable homes, we're talking 300s to 500,000s, DeerPath is perfect. You're gonna find homes that are a little bit older, but like I said, more affordable, but they're still gonna offer space and just overall nice homes. Plus there's a lovely kids park called Kids Castle, and you'll even find a fun pickleball tournament there from time to time. A lot of people love the education that Vernon Hills has to offer. The Vernon Hills area includes Hawthorne District 73, the Vernon Hills High School District 128, plus there's actually a little bit of Vernon Hills that also goes to the Stevenson High School District. So there's just these multiple options of excellent schools. What I love the most about Vernon Hills is it still feels like a community, but it is not sleepy. There's just so much being built up and so much more to do now with all the new restaurants and everything. I'd say one of the only things that's kind of missing is a little bit more of the nightlife setting in Vernon Hills. However, that is getting better though, because there's Dave & Buster's and there's other things that allow you to go out at night, and some other restaurants that stay open a little bit later. So that is getting better within Vernon Hills, is being able to have more of that late night life. There are farmers markets in town. They have the summer celebration where you've got fireworks and live music. There's fun things to do. You'll have a carnival at Hawthorne Mall once a year as well. It's really this perfect mix of quiet and calm, and then being able to be lively and have fun. There are a ton of job opportunities in Vernon Hills as well. There's just huge industrial areas full of different companies, and a couple to name are CDW, Zebra Technologies, and American Hotel Register. So, and that's just to name a few. There are so many that I could not even begin to name them all. Just a lot of opportunities. And just a little fun side note, in one of the industrial corporate areas is Rainbow Play Systems, and they actually have a warehouse that you can go and take your kids in, and you can actually let your kids play for free. And they have a bunch of their play systems set up and different slides and kind of all the things that you can do with it and just how you can set it up. And you can go there, and they have trampolines as well, and basketball hoops, I believe. So you can go there, your kids can play for free, and maybe someday, you know, I think their hope is that you'll buy one someday. It worked for us, we have one, and it's amazing. So that is one of those nice little gems of Vernon Hills, is that you can take your kids somewhere for free indoors to play in a bunch of play sets. It's amazing. But if you didn't find a job in Vernon Hills for some reason, still a lot of people are gonna work locally and in surrounding suburbs. Libertyville, Skokie, Northbrook, Lincolnshire. There are so many work opportunities in Lake County that you don't even have to leave the county if you don't want to. But if you do work in Chicago, again, you can hop on that metro train if you want, and go downtown, or even drive. It's not difficult to drive over to I-94 and head into the city that way. Just be prepared to be in traffic sometimes. If you're big into the green space and outdoor fun, there's over 20 parks in Vernon Hills. So even though it's a small area, there's just a lot of opportunity to go outside and go play. You've got Lake Charles and Big Bear Lake, but one that's got a lot of condo options and townhome options around it is actually Century Park. Now Century Park is cool because it's got a couple of lakes, and it's got walking paths all around them and in between them. Plus you can go fishing. You can actually just walk over. There's a little pier, a couple piers actually, and you can actually go fishing right in the city of Vernon Hills, which is really nice, especially if you don't have a boat, or you just want to kind of casually fish, or just teach your kids to fish. You know, you don't need anything overly complicated. It is perfect for that. There's also the Vernon Hills Athletic Complex, where they host youth sports and tournaments, and it just offers so much for the youth to do. And when it comes to the cost of living in Vernon Hills, it's actually a little bit higher, just about a few percent higher than the Illinois average. However, it's actually a few percent lower than the US average. I know cost of living is always kind of a hot topic with Illinois, because of property taxes and sales taxes. But really, with the difference in pay that you get for the area, it can kind of tend to even out a little bit. So Illinois you don't quite get hit as badly as some people may think. So bestplaces.net actually says that Vernon Hills gets a score of 97. And what that means is it's 3% lower than the US average for cost of living when you're considering everything, what you're getting paid, transportation costs, child care costs, and just everything, food, housing. When you put it all together, it's really not as bad. All right, we are heading over to niche.com now to take a look at some of the stats and various bits of information about Vernon Hills, Illinois, because there's a bunch of reviews and a ton of nice things to say about Vernon Hills. So let's head here. So it looks like there's 133 reviews, so that's pretty good. It's got 4 stars. And it's right here, niche.com, #1 in best places to live in Lake County. It is a pretty awesome place. Overall niche grade of A+, so another A+ city, which is amazing. With all these scores, we've got A+ in public schools, A+ good for families, A for outdoor activities, A for diversity, A+ for health and fitness, and A- for nightlife. So really just well-rounded area for everything. And there's a ton to do in terms of fitness, indoor and outdoor, and just a lot to do. And of course, B+ for jobs, housing, commute, B for crime and safety, and then C+ for both weather and cost of living. So typical Illinois, you're pretty much always going to get those C's or low B's for the weather and the cost of living. That's just kind of how it goes. But what you get in terms of the area and what Vernon Hills has to offer is well worth it. So you can just visit this website yourself or check it out, but you can see population a little over, almost not quite 27,000 people. Median home value is $384. Median rent's $1,800. 66% owned, so that's good. 2/3 owners. A lot of people are gonna typically keep up their home a little bit better than sometimes the owners of rentals. So let's take a look at this map. You can kind of just see what it looks like. It's a little odd here, the look of Vernon Hills. Just parts that aren't technically Vernon Hills, just weaved in there, but it's not overly big. It's a little bit long, not overly wide. You can see the surrounding areas. You got Mundelein and Libertyville, and you've got Lincolnshire and Long Grove. And Hawthorne Woods is also right over here. So just a lot of nice areas surrounding it. A lot to do too in Libertyville. Libertyville's got a nice downtown, older style downtown area. That's great to go to. So yes, and I have a better map that I'll show you in a little bit here. But yeah, just a really overall, I love how this shows this little homes.com snippet, and you've got a $1 million home and then a $400,000 home. And really you can find some condos for quite a bit lower. We're talking in closer to 200,000. So there's a lot of opportunity there. So here's some of those rankings. #4, best place to live in Illinois. Wow, that's pretty good. Best suburbs to live in Illinois, #4 as well. Look at that. Places with the best public schools in Illinois, #10. So just a really top-notch area to live in. So crime and safety overall, just so much better than the national average and averages. Residents, you can kind of see like the ages and stuff like that. Well, it kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense that we're seeing this and how much percentage is kids. It's kind of really split evenly between all the groups, I feel like, which kind of just shows that grade for the families, the family grade of A+. Working in Vernon Hills, it looks like there's a median household income of about $120,000, so a little bit more. It does require a little bit more to live there because part of that's those really, really nice houses too that help drive that up, because there are definitely homes that you can afford on less than that. And then some of those top public schools, you got Stevenson High School, Vernon Hills, Libertyville High School. I mean, you get options, and it really just depends on where you live in Vernon Hills and where you go. The southernmost point's going to be more in Stevenson. Vernon Hills kind of like more in the middle and kind of to the west, and then a little bit Libertyville High School towards the north. So a lot of options, even some private school options, not too far away. We got a lot of excellent ratings, 39, 68 very good, 24 average. There's 1 or 2 poors. Curious to see how old some of those are. Let's see. I want to see it. 2015, wow. There was really not that many smaller local businesses around me. Local stores, as good as it gets. Grocery stores, everything around me is corporate. Everything is owned by big investors. There's a lot of corporate area, in industrial area over there, but this is from 2015, so let's see what the other one is. There is nothing to do after 10 p.m. weekends. 2015. It sounds like the same person. It's the same day. Okay, so this is before everything's been built up. these scores. We got some newer ones here. 2023, nice town, lots of stores. Not much of a downtown, but Melody Farm is new and nice. Yeah, 2023 it was, and it's still building up over there. So just getting better and better. So here's this 4 months ago visitor. I like that over the years we have seen the community thrive with new expansions like the mall being updated and the new productions of Melody Farms. It has brought growth to the community as well as new apartment buildings and places to expand. So that's a really good review. And it's true, that's exactly what's happening in Vernon Hills. And that's why I think it's just a good area to consider when it comes to moving to Vernon Hills. The Village of Vernon Hills also has a great village website, and you can kind of go and see, enjoy Vernon Hills. It talks about some of the shopping, which you can find, the dining and the fun, and just this whole page of fun. The theaters, I love how it's got Bears Fit in here's fun. So Bears Fit's actually is a workout facility, and it's revolving around the Chicago Bears. There's like a turf area, and of course all the workout machines, and they got some other stuff that they offer. They also have a little store in there where you can go and buy jerseys and all sorts of memorabilia for Bears. So maybe that's why it's thrown in there as fun. They also have Lifetime Fitness, but that's also going to have a lot more other stuff too within Lifetime. But Sky Zone Trampoline Park, you can't forget that. High Five Sports Zone. You got the Glacier Ice Arena. As I said, Dave & Buster's, Funflatables, which is in that mall. Bolero. I mean, and of course, like the movie theaters also at the mall. So you just have a lot of options, and Melody Farm alone has so much to offer in terms of shopping, because you've got shopping, you've got dining, you've got the Whole Foods grocery store, you've got the Lazy Dog, you've got City Works, so if you need a drink. There's just other restaurants. You can literally go get your nails done, get your hair done, go find cute clothes at Nordstrom Rack or wherever you choose to shop over there. And then whatever, you've got options. There's Teriyaki Madness is right there. You've got Cafe Zupas if you want soup and salad. It's really good, and they have sandwiches. Current projects of Vernon Hills. So on this page, it talks about the Hawthorne Mall redevelopment, and then it's talk about everything that's been updated. And it says updates as of summer 2024. So they'll probably update this again soon. But Perry's Steakhouse, Love Sack, Free People Movement, Anthropology, and then Yard House is almost done. That was one of those that's getting done. That one is almost done. Wild Fork and Cava is done. Let's see, Woodland Chase, that's some homes that are being built up. And then Everly Vernon Hills also is now open. So Everly is a 55 and older luxury apartment community. So it's fabulous. In a future video, actually, I'm going to get some footage of it, but I'll do a little bit of show you on the website for now. So this is what Everly looks like. This is the 55 plus community, apartment community. And there's kind of these apartments in here. And then these are, they call them cottages, but they're kind of like townhouse, like duplexy, right? So there are some available, it looks like. But the pricing on this is it's nice because the website kind of shows a lot of that, but you can kind of see the pricing here. So it's definitely, 55 plus luxury community. So you've got 22, 45, 50, 15-month leases, and then you've got some of these cottages that are not quite $5,000 a month. But obviously all these come with different things and it's different sizes, and really just depends on your lifestyle and what you want to do. But I love this and the location of it, because I'm going to bring you over to the map here real quick. let me see if I marked it on here, because I may not have. So it is here. And it's actually not marked on here. I'm gonna fix that. But right here is where it's located, right by this water. And look at what's right here. So you've got just a little bit up the road, the mall, Melody Farm, and then it's a very nice walking area as well. Like this is just a good little area just to walk down anyways. There's sidewalks and everything, but of course it's close to stores. You got Target and Walmart and just a little bit of everything. So yeah, it's just a really good option. If you're, and of course it's a community, so it's a 55 plus community, so it's gonna have a bunch of stuff in the community already. So you're unlikely to have to leave very much if you don't want to. But just Vernon Hills just offers a ton of different stuff for seniors. They've got a specific page for their senior center and kind of what they do there. So definitely something to check out if that's what you're interested in. In terms of the housing, Woodland Chase. So that was like one of the newer subdivisions. So I've got this page up here for Woodland Chase. Looks like it's being built by Icon Building Group. Now these homes are on the pricier side. They're more luxury. They're starting from $949,900. So you can see it's a nice looking house. This one looks like it's got at least a 3-car garage. And where it is, they've got Stevenson High School District. So it looks like also Vernon Hills High School is listed here. So, you know, there's options there depending on where you're living, but they are still building here. So this is an option. If you're looking for a new construction in Vernon Hills, you know, let me know. We can go and check them out and get that figured out for you. Let me show you on their map where they're located. Right along 45, not too far from 83. That out. It's a pretty good location, and it goes far off back enough too where you don't have to be right next to the road. And then you're by other, you know, dead end areas. I'm going to show you my map that I did. I've got clips, you know, throughout this video that shows where we were. But I'm going to talk about this a little bit so you can kind of see in general where all these blue markers are, that you can kind of see that similar shape of Vernon Hills. So with the exception of Costco, I highlighted Costco because it's Costco. You gotta know it's close by. But here's the mall, and you can kind of see all the shopping nearby. There's the Bears Fit, Portillo's, you gotta love Portillo's, Target, Walmart. And then you've got your restaurants. You got all sorts of restaurants, all your fast food that you can think of. Here's that Sky Zone trampoline park. There's also this little Kickers and Skills Institute. It's like a little soccer for youth right there. Plus there's just all the stores that you can think of. Your Home Depot, Home Goods stores, Best Buy, Kohl's, Sam's Club. I mean, everything is right here. And then you can kind of just see these corporate areas too. Your CDW, the CDW at Play Child Care Center, which is really nice. Here's the Vernon Hills High School. And all this is all businesses. So this is what I was talking about when I said that there's a lot of corporate area. This is all businesses right here. And even south a little bit more, all businesses. Corporate Woods Way, all businesses. And guess what? Rainbow Swings Superstore, here it is. It's right here. That's what I'm talking about when I say Rainbow Swings. They have that giant store where the kids can go play. So that is amazing. Right here is one of the lowest points of Vernon Hills. You got the College of Lake County South Lake campus. And then you've got Lifetime Fitness right here, the big fitness facility with all sorts of stuff there for you to do. And then you got the Metro train over here. There's the Metro station. You go catch the train to Chicago, typically. Vernon Hills Golf Course. There's that Vernon Hills Athletic Complex. There's just so much in such a small area. DeerPath Park, Kids Castle, right? I took you there. But you can check out the Kids Castle clips now, where you can kind of see the lovely playground and the tennis pickleball courts and just all the fields and everything, and just the housing that's right there as well. Like, you can live right there. And then here's where, like I said, the mall, Dave & Buster's, There's the new Yard House that's almost finished, Perry's Steakhouse. And across the way, there's the Atworth is right there. And then Home Goods, Nordstrom Rack, Barnes & Noble, West Elm, REI. You got Shake Shack. You got Whole Foods. I mean, you have barbecue. Look at that. Cherokee Madness, Tangled Roots, Craft Beer and Kitchen, Buttermilk Cafe, Align Modern Health. There's just like all sorts of stuff right here. Right here, and I'm going to mark it, not too far from Buttermilk Cafe, there's this slice wood-fired pizza, and I love it because there's this little robot that you can ask to use, especially if you've got kids, and it'll bring over the food for you. But the pizza is awesome. I mean, we've gotten just kind of like your typical sausage pizza, and it was like one of the best pizzas I've ever had. Caesar salad's good. And then I love it because they bring dough for kids to play with. So like a little bit of flour and some dough so the kids can play with it. And then of course when you're done eating, or if for some reason you have to wait, which I typically don't there's a little play area right in between. And it's just allows kids to climb up on stuff, and it's really vibey at night. It's got lights, just shows you kind of that real North Shore vibe, going out and having fun feel, just in this whole area. But yes, you have a little bit of everything. Look at that, Northwestern Medicine, just a little spot there, and of course Maggiano's, Dave & Buster's, your typical shopping for the mall, High Five Sports Zone. Right here, there it is, Century Park. There's the boat, you can come and park. There's a pier, and you got the lakes. You got the lakes here, and then all those trails. You can kind of just see how large it is. And look at all these places around too. You can live like right along all these walking trails and lakes, and it's amazing. There's a playground up at this northern point. And look at that, there's a sledding hill. I mean, it just offers a little bit of everything. You don't have to go anywhere. Like, you really don't have to go very far for anything. And then up here, I spoke about Gregg's Landing. So this is what I'm talking about. This Gregg's Parkway is kind of houses a lot of Gregg's Landing. So there's Lake Charles right there. There's the golf course, the Lake Deer Run golf course. Lake Charles Park is right there. And so as you're driving past this Mariano's here, there's a Gregg's Landing sign, and that kind of enters it. And you kind of have some of the townhomes and condos. And then you just get into some really luxury homes that are still getting built and everything over there. Just a nice area to walk, a nice area to go to the park, play golf. And it's just a lovely area, kind of a wide range of pricing in terms of the homes. But it is Vernon Hills right here. Now we go across the street over here, that's Libertyville. And Northmore is Libertyville. But it's great, look at that. It's technically Libertyville, but there's a Trader Joe's right there. But the Mariano's is Vernon Hills technically. But yeah, so not far away, you have even more shopping, car dealerships and swim schools and all sorts of excellent stuff. And then a hospital also right there. So it may not be Vernon Hills, but it is right there. So just so many options when it comes to Vernon Hills. If you're interested in knowing everywhere I was in the clips in this video or what I'm talking about, I've got this custom map here. I can send you the link. Just comment on the video, Vernon Hills map, or you can even message me directly and say, hey, can I have the link to the map so I can kind of check it out? Just let me know, and I'm happy to send you the link to the map. Just say stay tuned for more as I dive deeper into Vernon Hills and some of the subdivisions and get some tours of some of those new construction homes and 55 plus apartments. Once again, I'm Megan Farmer, your Northern Illinois realtor. If you have any questions or real estate questions, feel free to comment on the video, reach out to me directly. And again, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. That way you know when I pull out future videos. Bye-bye.